here. I'm gonna re-react to this bit now. Then I'm jumping to miracle scene. This is where the episode actually starts, and I mean it seriously. So now I'm at like minute like 7. Yeah, here minute 6.52. Here the episode actually starts, right? So we have Toga hasn't appeared yet. This is the CGI of his hands, and I think the CGI is fine because it's kind of like the demon fight in Black Clover, where the CGI kind of works because it's like this outwardly. This allows it. Miracle allows it. She's so used to losing her body parts that the poor lady is like, I got extra body parts. And then the new her and Bakugo are like teaming up or something. I shipped them now. Look at this. Now Bakugo and Miracle are like, it's right, boy. Show on it. Yeah. Oh yes, go. Yeah. Now it's like they're like teaming up now. Yeah. Those two crazy people are getting now. But yeah, let's go back to this scene. I love this scene. She's so terrible. She's so used, this poor lady, right? She's so used to the abuse that she literally has like body part. She lost her arm there. She has a new arm. It's so terrible. She loses her body part, and it's like, it's no problem. I got a machine against my new body parts. It's so terrible. Like, it's terrible, but great in the same way. But I mean, it's terrible how the author. He's hurt Miracle so many times that it kind of just makes sense for her to have like a machinery that's like, I lost my arm again, give me a new arm. Like, I have this thing ready. Yeah, like she's like Deadpool. She knows she's hated by the author, and I need to have this machine, guys. Like, Jesus Christ. And she's like ready for it. Yeah, she has this like weird machine so that she can jump up again with her new leg, with a new leg and arm. Jesus Christ, this is terrible. This poor lady is like, I'm almost losing my body parts, right? This is effing author, man. She literally has like ascended the manga and is like, oh, I need to have this thing going for me. Otherwise, let's be honest here, this scene makes no sense. It is just like really weird. Why would a character be like, oh, I'm probably gonna lose my body part again? Well, I guess they're fighting, I guess you can like go for that, but it feels like, oh no, I'm losing my body parts so often that I have to have like this machinery that gives me new body parts. It's like, no. Sense. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, the poor lady. She's clear. So she's aware of the hate, right? She's aware on how much hate she gets from the author. It is just fun and scary. But anyway, now we're jumping to like minute when does Toga appear? And I mean here the Barabara. Let's see. Here we go. This is at minute 10:22, guys. This is when best girl appears, okay? So you can seriously jump, honestly, you can jump the first 10 minutes, right? Because one thing we see is like Miracle and Bakugo having like a flirt there. And now that actually starts, right? So here comes Toga. She's like, yay! Love! Yeah, love attack! Woo! Yeah, I love you, Deku! As I was saying, 100 likes, like I finally unboxed my Surikara. I want my Toga right there. So here the episode actually starts for reals, right? And this part is great, don't get me wrong. This part is great. Toga comes in here. She's awesome. And she's adorable. She wants some love. Yeah. And now she's gonna tell Deku she likes him. And he's like awkward about it. Yeah. But this is great. Oh, I just want some love! This is great, yeah. Come on! I just want love! The poor girl. And Deku's like, what? He's like, yeah, I just want to have some boyfriend. He's like, come on. Wanna date me? Yeah. And of course she's the eye catcher, makes sense. I love this face she does here. This is great. Deku is very confused. He's very perplexed about the thing. But this thing is so fun, man. Yeah, girlfriend? No, I like Amrika! I've been loving someone else! Yeah. Deku is like, no, girl! And this is so great. Oh, we can all do it together! Oh, this is so great, man. He's like, actually, I am becoming in love with someone else. And Toga, our beloved best girl, is like, don't worry, Deku. I love both of you guys. Yeah, you see, this is so great, yeah. She's like, it's great. It's okay, I love both of you. Yeah. I love this scene. It's great. Yeah. She's like, oh no. It's fine though. I'm in love with both of you. Yeah. I can date both of you. We can do all together. Oh, it's awesome. Oh, come on, girl. She's like, it's fine. I will date both of you. Yeah. This is perfect, man. It's perfect. Yeah. We can all live happy together. Yeah. But Deku is like, no, I like someone else. I come on, this is hilarious. But anyway, they fight a bit. And now she's gonna... Yeah, the fight, here we go. The flashbacks and the fighting. Yeah, and of course, Urika's like, it's my boyfriend! Yeah, get there, my boyfriend! Yeah, stop trying to ruin it. But I mean, Toga's willing to share, right? Yeah, come on, Urikara. Stop being so be jelly, man. Netrad is great, man. But this really is like a love battle now. Yeah, that's my boyfriend. Oh, here we go. Toga's pissed off, man. You don't wanna share with me? Oh yeah, that's right, Toga. You get some. That's right. You stab her. That's right. Get a blood girl. I can turn into Urukara now. Oh yeah, it's like collect some blood, man. Floppy nose. Like they got him, man. 3-way going time. That's my girlfriend. Without serious lad, that's my girlfriend. Yeah, come on. She's just like the Urukara is mine. Yeah, but this is great, man. Because you stab, and I love this ending here now. Because now they both like leave. No, but this is great. Now Urikara is just like, leave us, Deku. I got her. She's mine. Yeah, me and Floppy gonna crush her. Yeah. Now it's like Yuri battle is on, man. That's the episode, guys, right? Yeah, it's a great episode. No, I'm just kidding. It's terrible. It's weird. It's weird, right? Like I said, I really like this bit with Toga. It is really great. But otherwise, then we got this thing, right? You know, then we got this thing with the brothers. Just doing the whole, oh, I burn you, I will burn you, and it's fire, fire, fire. I will burn you, and it's fire. Right? Nothing else happens. Burning is adorable. But that's kind of the episode, right? Honestly. And you can skip the first 10 minutes, right? Because the first 10 minutes is like nothing happens. Miracle does like a cool thing with her. She gets a body part back. And Miracle and Bakugo are shipped now or something. It is a very perplexing episode in that sense. It's so much recap. It really feels like every monster, yeah. It really, really feels like every monster. It's similar to that, how they did it with like the... It's flashback and so on too. It's very strange. Yeah, business suit with Aqua face would be interesting. But anyway, guys, that's the episode, guys. That's the reaction. No, but seriously, like that's actually the episode. I mean, honestly, like I am re-recording it. Sorry with the voice earlier, it didn't work. I'm gonna cut it out, of course, later here on the stream. But the last bit is just like, I don't know. They're standing here, and again, this is. I mean, I love Bernie. This is awesome. Everything with Burning is amazing. So we can have the Burning. She's screaming at him. It's all right, and she looks freaking hot. And someone's always Burning is top waifu. So this is great, absolutely. But this goes on for like 5 minutes. So it was the honesty we got of Burning being like, "Oh, I got you, bro. Yeah, we're gonna burn you down before you burn us." Yeah, then it would be perfect, right? If Burning had her line, he had his line, and then that would be his line. That's the end of it. That would be great. And I, you know, I haven't read the manga. But I assume the manga basically is like a few panels, right? I assume the manga at this point here is like a few, you know, panels, a few, you know, a few, maybe more than that. But of course, in the anime, and this episode here is the worst flashback episode so far, right? They're constantly throwing in these flashbacks. And I think one thing, and I said it earlier, which started Stripe episode as well, one thing that this season is doing differently than the other ones is they have a lot of these like tiny flashbacks, right, all the time. So as soon as Darby and you know Burning is talking or whatever, then we get like an Endower flashback for like a minute, right? So they constantly have this thing where they're throwing in like a minute there, half a minute there, and so on, and that's top of the first 7 minutes of flashback that we had before the episode starts, right? And then we have the miracle there with Shigaraki and so on. So it's just like, oh my god, yeah, it's like this episode here is seriously more than 10 minutes of flashback. And if you include the opening and ending and so on, you only get that bit of Toga, right? That's the episode, right? So I am a little perplexed for the episode, the quality of it, right? So like I said, I really liked the Toga bit. That was great. I liked the bit a little bit with Burning and Todoroki, the boys and so on. It was okay, you know, it was okay. But and of course, Miracle getting new body parts was just hilarious. But it is a very strange feeling, and I don't know, right? It feels like you are getting what should have been a better product, an inferior product, I suppose, because it's so much recap and filler. And season 5 had the same thing, right? But yeah, whatever. If you subs and so on, let's talk about some more stuff there. Yeah, whatever. Go away from academia. That is true. Yeah, I did drop Kaiden number 8. I used Kaiden number 8. I feel is like, I mean, first of all, and I said it many times, right? Episode 4 of Kaiden number 8, sitting here in my Academia suit, is the exact same thing like My Academia. Like My Academia is episode 4 is the second episode. It was literally frame by frame the same episode, which is hilariously bad. Yeah, it's so bad. And the thing is that, right, with My Academia then being just better too, and it's just straight up a lot better. Because I mean, one of my favorite moments right in My Academia is of course when Deku saves Urikawa in episode 4, of course, you know. He's like 1.0, and you know he pushes the robot, right? I love the scene. It's like that's why I fell in love with the anime, right? Because I hadn't read the manga, so when I first watched Academia, the first season, and we get to that moment when of course Deku has 0 points, and he's like the hero has to self-sacrifice, right? And he saves Urikawa. That's the moment, right, when I fell in love with the anime. I made a video about it last year. And that's the moment that, okay, I love My Academia because the whole idea of self-sacrifice. And of course, it's also really great writing because in the next episode, we see how Urikawa, right, is going to All Might, or generally the school, and she's trying to give her points, right, to Deku, right? Because she's like, oh, this poor boy, he saved me, but he had 0 points, right? So I want to give him my points, right? And then, of course, she also gets more points because it's like a rescue Nakama thing, right? So that's where I felt, okay, this is really, really great. Like, this is a great anime. It has that like heroic sacrifice thing, right? And it felt really, really good at that moment. And now, Kaiden number 8 has almost exactly the exact same thing happening in episode 4. Like literally, frame by frame, it's absurdly similar. That I am convinced that the author of Kaiden number 8 had stolen that from Academia. Because it's not exactly the same thing, right? They go to a big house thing where instead of having these robots, they have Kadyus, right? In some kind of city. It's a surround. I mean, it's exactly the same. Exactly the same setting. And they have this point system, and they're fighting. And then the cute girl, that he met just before the episode 3. It's before the start. She's attacked by this giant Kadyu instead of a giant robot, right? And he of course comes up there and he one punches that monster, saving the girl, and now she's falls in love with the main character. I mean, it's like almost the exact thing, like frame by frame. And then of course, yes, it's a change to have one of the bad guys there too. But it's mostly, it's like 95% My Academia episode 4. It's incredibly similar. Like seriously, I stand by saying that I'm convinced, right, that the author of Kaiden number 8 stole that from My Academia, like 100%. He just took every panel, right? However, two of the big problems, Tom, right, is that where My Academia does exactly that thing as I said, right? It does a really great scene, and he saves Urikawa, and then it follows up with her trying to give points, right, to him, right? She's trying to, do that stuff, right? That's gone in Kaiden number 8. Yeah, Kaiden number 8 doesn't really make the female main character have a scene that makes her more likable. She kind of like, oh, I'm in life for him now or something. That's basically it. But she doesn't really like do a scene where she has that heroic sacrifice, right? So it copies My Academia, but it makes it worse. So it's kind of like My Academia at home. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's an inferior version of My Academia. And also the whole 0 pointing is also less impactful in that show, so to speak. So it's like, he's stolen My Academia's homework, he's made it worse, right? And it's like 10 years afterwards. So for me, it's like, oh my god, I see this in our anime, it's done way better 10 years prior, right? That to me is ridiculous. If you're gonna steal something from someone else, at least make it better, right? It is insane. So I really, really dislike that, and I felt that was a moment we should like the female main character and the main character, and it didn't really come off for me, right? Kaiden number 8. And then basically, otherwise, the female main character, she's just Noelle, right? She's like, Watashi Ryosuke from Black Clover. Another stolen character, right? 100% Sundry character. She's blonde Noelle, but again, in the inferior version of Noelle. Doesn't have the cool backstory, doesn't have the interesting issue with the powers. So it's like, Kaiden number 8, yeah, I dropped it because everything so far in the anime is just stolen from other animes, which made it worse. It also, of course, obviously, is like a Titan. It has been, right? And they just take it worse too. Less dramatic, less powers. It's just like everything that I've seen in other animes before, but they have, removed so much of the good stuff. It just made it worse. I mismatched that. So yeah, I used and then of course Kafka, the main character, is just incredibly boring. I don't know. I feel the big issue with Kajin number 8 is just the jokes are just really boring. The jokes doesn't land. There's dislikable characters, and the side casts are incredibly boring. There's other character in his crew. They're all pointless. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, it's landed nowhere. But anyway, yeah. See you talking about FF7. I'm gonna be started. That is so bad. That is so bad. I know. I hate the Cosmic Canyon too. Cosmic Canyon is so bad. Like FF7 is really interesting, and I think of it for a while because someone wrote a really long comment on my frog video, FF7, and I haven't commented back yet. Sometimes I don't answer the comments. I mean immediately, not because however, but sometimes people write this really good comments. This is like a really good comment on the minigame of the frog thing. This guy writes like an A4 paper of that, right? And I'm just like, that's a really good comment. So I haven't answered that comment because I'm like, I don't know what to answer. I've been thinking about it for like a day. I'm like, man, this is a really interesting comment. But basically, his point is that, you know, the mini games, the quality, and so on, right? And FF7 massively failed on that in a really weird way because I love that FF7 has so many more mini games, right? Because the previous game, Part 1, had no mini games, right? You know, it was so terrible. I have the game over here. Right? Here we go. Oh, collector box. Bam, baby, yeah. Oh, no. It was too heavy for Toga. That was too heavy. Poor girl. No, it made the little top fall down a bit. There we go. He couldn't stand on it. He couldn't stand on it. It was too heavy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Toga. Don't hurt me. Don't stab me, Toga. Yeah. This is actually a very heavy box. Yeah. But anyway, so playing this game, right? It's a much better game than the first part. The problem with FF7 though, Part 2, is it's kind of funny because Part 1 had like no mini games, and it was very shallow. It's very much the main story is over, right? There's nothing to do with no mini bosses, nothing to do, right? It was terrible in so many ways. But then Part 2 comes out, and they're like, okay, sorry, we didn't have any mini games. Now we have 1,000 mini games, yeah, and there's like too many mini games. No, it has a goddamn sit-up minigame. I know. It has the goddamn, you know, gym minigame, again, right? It has like 5,000 minigames. You're like, is it too many minigames now instead? So they went from having no minigames to having like seriously over 100 minigames, and some of them are just bad. Some of them are just like frustrating. You're like, I don't want to do this stupid frog game. You know, I hated the frog game so much, and obviously the sit-up thing is terrible. It's like the pull-up thing was terrible. And it's just like, my god, they just went overboard. And I think that, of course, the game should have fewer mini games and higher quality. That's the obvious answer, right? Fewer mini games with higher quality. But I agree with you 100% because when I was getting kind of fed up with Golgaga Jungle, right? So it's pronounced. But I was still fine. I was like, this jungle is kind of confusing, but I'm fine, you know. But then you get to Cosmo Canyon, and it's such an annoying place with this flying thing, and that was the first area where I felt I'm just gonna skip this area right now, and I'm gonna, you know, go to the next area, right, and then go back here later. So that was the first area. I did half the area, I did the main storyline, and then I just went on with the main storyline. I went back later on in the game because I felt I can't do this right now. It's so boring, it's so tedious, it's so incredibly long, like fly. It takes like 10 hours to do all the mini games, all the quest shit, right? The game had too much of that, and you also know I hate what's his name, Shadley, right? You know how much I hate Shadley, yeah. But it's just too much of that. The game just doesn't end. Like, it's just so much. The next area is so much better. Niflheim, oh, so much better. It's better designed. It's better fights too, and it's much shorter too. Like it doesn't have like in as many stuff and so on. It's a much better thing. I like the robots though. That was fine. The robot minigame, I made a video about that. If you're struggling, I mean, especially coding, it's AI coding, easy level, right? So that to me was really easy. I had no problem whatsoever with the. I know a lot of people fail in the robot games on expert mode, but I found it super easy. It's like basic coding, so I was like, yeah. So I made a video about it, explaining it, but it's very easy, you know, gambit system. So that was fine, and it's pretty fun too. And so on, but yeah. As a side note, yeah, Mai is much better, but Mai has more personality. And the thing is that, I mean, oh god, Shad is so badly designed, you know. it's so hard. I have sort of hate love for this game now because I love so much part in the game, but I also hate so much stuff in it too. You know, it's just so frustrating because Shadley is a perfect example of bad game design, right? Because he calls you all the time and interrupts your battle. But when Mai calls you, she just talks during your fights. So you can't compare them in that way because Mai is like, oh yeah, go, Gambara, while you're fighting, right? And so you hear her voice, but you can still play in the game, you know. So the game keeps playing, right? But Shadley calls you all the time and he interrupts your game. He's like, you have to talk to him. And there's a massive difference there. That just makes it, you know, it ruins the game flow, right? And it's just an obvious over issue for them. And then Shadley often calls you and gives you nothing to. He's like, I saw something over there, big danger, something. He calls you and like, the sun is yellow. You're like, yeah, great, yeah, I know. He's like, yeah, thank you. Water is blue. Like, the ocean is blue over there. Like, yeah, that's good, yeah, that is blue. Skies are white, clouds are white. You're like, yeah, that's great, bro. Yeah, that's great. He literally calls you and tells you like, oh yeah, over there is a crystallized blue. You're like, yeah, that's. Yeah, I can see it with my own eyes. Like, it is super confusing. Like, it's point of him. It's terrible. As a side note, I'm currently playing, you know, what's called Yukuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, whatever it's called, super long name, right? Suikoden 6, basically, right? It's a terrible game. It's such a bad game. It's so frustrating. Like, I want to love the game. It's by far this year's biggest disappointment for me, by far. And I'm currently playing its Beyblade minigame, okay? It has a Beyblade minigame. It's exactly like Beyblade, but it's worse. Like, it is so bad. Like, it literally has, it's called like BEAVER or something. And it is Beyblade, right? You're throwing your, like, you know, Beyblade on this like sphere thing. You're fighting some other guy. It looks like a character from Yu-Gi-Oh or Beyblade. But it's so badly done, okay? It is, I mean, I just posted on Reddit. It might literally be the worst minigame ever seen in my life. So first of all, it's purely gear based, okay? There's no skill in it whatsoever. So you cannot win in this like Beyblade copy game until you have the best Beyblades. Like, you cannot defeat like the NPCs at all because it's purely like the stats of your Beyblade. So you have to go to like the last dial in the game and farm the bosses there, so you can turn into a monster like Pokeballs, yeah, and capture like, the best dragons. And then you can play the whole game super easily because they used insta kill everything else. But you cannot win by skills. There's no skill in the game. You just drop the Beyblade and press the A button to do like attacks, and nothing else happens. So the game is literally 0% skill. Okay, like, it's just terrible, purely stat based. Okay, that's the first issue, right? Now you have to defeat like 20 people in this game. Like, it's insane. You have to go around the whole game world and like fight like 20 dudes in like continuous storyline for a mini game. But to fight them, you have to fight everyone else in the village before or something like that. But they won't tell you. So it's not like FF7 this game here, right? In this game, you know, the UI has an image of this person as a card player, right? In FF7 Remake, when you enter a village, you can see there's the card guy, there's the card guy, you know what I mean? In this game, released after this game, released, you know, in April this year, there's no UI. So you have to enter a village, you have to duel like 3 people in the village, but the game doesn't tell you who is the dueler. So you have to talk to every goddamn character to be able to find it too. It's so stupid. Like, that kind of stuff, okay? Then, every time you're dueling someone in this game, in this Beyblade game, you have to duel them best out of 3, okay? But of course, the game is so terribly done that if you have 2-0, so you're leading in this game, right? You now still have to play the third game, even if you can't lose it. So you have to beat them twice. You just play the third game and go away for a minute. Let the boss defeat you, right? But you still win because you have 2 goals. So it's like best 2 out of 3, but you have to always play the third game. Like, it's so bad. Like, I played it for like yesterday and today, this morning, so on, before this stream, this Saturday here, and I can't do it anymore. Like, I don't have like 3 hours. Like, I can't do it. And you're doing it to recruit a character, of course, because you can recruit every character in the game, right? And you have to recruit every character, else you can't get a good ending in the game, of course not. You have to get all the characters. And this character is terrible. He's like a terrible character. You're like, oh my god. And you get no reward otherwise for doing this thing. You only have to get the last. He's like my 119th character. I have to get him to get the last 120 characters. I can get the true ending of the game. And I'm just like, oh my god. And the game also has like a super terrible like sand flyer game and like a queen game and so on. All the minigames are terrible in the game. They're all terribly done, but they're buggy and so on too. But that thing is what has in my life. It's like, oh my god, it takes like 5 hours this minigame, and it's just so boring because it has no skill, right? At least in these games, F7 games, most of the minigames are terribly hard. Yeah, like the frog game is just hard, right? I mean, I prefer a hard minigame that takes like 5 hours than a 5-hour minigame that's dead brain. You know, like you drop the thing, drop the Beyblade, go away for 10 minutes, come back, and it's beating it. Yeah, you literally can't lose the game. There's no skill in it. Literally, it's just purely stat based. Who has the best Beyblade? it's so bad. It's insanely bad. Oh god. Anyway, yeah. Next week we got the Elden Ring, right? I guess we're playing that at least. Yeah, that'd be exciting. We got Elden Ring coming out, right? Next Saturday. It's Friday, I mean. Probably. And I'm still thinking of maybe buying the what's it called? The Crystal Edition. I've seen a few places here have it, so I'm thinking of buying it so I get this figure, right? I'm thinking of buying it so I get that the massive figure. I'm kind of into it. I don't know. Haven't made my mind yet, but I think I might buy this because you can still buy it where I live. People probably have what's it called? They probably, I don't know, remove the booking or whatever. They probably change their mind, you know. Yeah, so you can actually buy it at several stores where I live. Usually these things are fully booked, but I've seen it being almost everywhere where I live. Let me try to get the image of it. Yeah, where is that image? Or is it all the wrong file format for? Yeah, they're all the wrong file format. Oh my god. Oh, whatever. Yeah, Mesmer. But why can't I get a good image of it? The internet hates me. Here we go. Maybe this one. Nope, it's also the wrong file format. I'm googling it, and everything I'm getting is a wrong file format, so I can't show it in the stream because it won't pop up if it's the wrong. Okay, I'm still rendering, but it's not that expensive where I live then, actually, because I think it dropped. Yeah, the Mesmer and Payday figure it costs like $300 usually where I live, but because I think a lot of people have canceled their booking of it, it's down to like $250 now. So it's down like $50 now where I live. So that actually makes the figure pretty affordable, I feel. I have not seen the Elden Ring manga, no. No, I haven't seen that thing. But yeah, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think it's affordable buying the figure for like $25 or $20? A gag manga, that's not pretty fun actually. Here, finally found it in the correct file format. So here we got the collector's edition, right? So I'm thinking of buying it, right, so you get Mesmer the figure. Because yeah, it dropped like $50 the last 1 or 2 weeks where I live. Probably because a lot of people are canceling their. I see. Yeah, like obviously Berserker first. Yeah, interesting. But what do you think? Do you think it's worth that money? Because the figure actually is pretty sizable. I mean, obviously I like figures, right? You got the figures here, you got the Toga figures or one, right? But yeah, I got Todoroki behind me, but you can't see it now because it's covering it. Yeah, I don't know. I think that figure is pretty affordable for $25 because it's like a half a meter almost. It's like 47 centimeters. So apparently this Impaler figure actually is quite large. I didn't know it first. I saw it yesterday. It's like when I saw the price dropping on it, I was like interested because yeah, it's 46 centimeters. So it actually is quite a sizable figure. Because first I thought it was gonna be like a lot of game collector figures. They're usually tinier, and you get like a 25 or so. This one is quite massive, so the price range on it is actually pretty fair for that size, so I'm thinking of it because it is pretty good. But I have to make up my mind probably on this week. So what I actually think about it actually isn't that expensive because if I pay like $20 for it, I'm also getting the DLC, right? I'm also getting the actual game, yeah. So it actually isn't that expensive because it's like $200 for the figure as well as the art book and so on, right? Because you're also getting the DLC, something to buy the DLC, right? That's true. You can also remove like $40-50 from the DLC for getting it. So that's pretty interesting. Something about now at least. But I already told you, bro, stop doing One Piece because for me that the last like 2-3 years, the only anime that I get copy issues for is One Piece, right? So I don't know that with the anime, And also, I know how much I hate the manga currently, so I don't want to spoil too much if people are after the manga, but the manga is so bad right now that I seriously think that the last 2 chapters are C out of 10. I say they last, and I have to go through with the streaming guys, but I say they last to be a little angry, but Yuffie is a good wife though, yeah. But Yuffie is a much more fun character to play at least in the game, yeah. I think Yuffie and Cassidy, you know, I love Cassidy, yeah. Yuffie and Cassidy are by far the best character to play in the game from an actual like amusement entertainment standpoint. But anyway, I end the stream soon, guys. Let me just rant a little bit about One Piece because I'm a rant more now. No, but like, I really, really hate the last 2 chapters, like insanely amount. Like it's just like, well, actually, hate is a strong word. It's more like I'm indifferent to this chapter. It is. I think it's genuinely the last 2 chapters are like 0 out of 10 chapters, right? And it's just so boring. Nothing happens in them, and you can literally skip the last 2 chapters, and there will be no difference. Like nothing happens in them. And I really do feel that Oda is going the Ishiyama route. I've been saying it for like 2-3 years now since the Nika thing, but it's like it's so clear now because Oda currently he's just adding more shit to it. He's just adding more like mystery. Oh yeah. Oh by the way, Vegapunk is just sitting there for like 6 chapters now, being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you all the secrets, but it actually isn't really. He's just mostly telling you new secrets, like new plot, threads, right? He's mostly just like dumping out all this shit for like a whole volume basically, and most of it is completely irrelevant. Like and some stuff is like someone is a traitor maybe or something. Okay, who like it's super vague shit like that, right? Someone will probably betray you or something. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, it's like super vague shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. It's so bad. It's so bad because the thing that bugs me so much with it, right? Even if you ignore that I think that Vega, like the actual writing from Oda is terrible here because it takes so long time for him to say anything, right? Which I have said for a long time now. What I hate so much of Vegapunk is that he's the least sciencey dude I've ever seen in my life, okay? So I spend all my time, right? I work at, like a science place, right? And I obviously went to academia and so on, before, right? But I spent all my days, but all my time at least, all my life, but most of, my current life, I spend all this time with like these PhD dudes, right, Where I work, 40% of the people has a PhD, okay? More than that. I think that's the last year numbers where I work, more than 40% of the people has a PhD, okay? So everyone has like a PhD or like a master's degree. Having lower than a master's degree is almost like strange where I work, okay? So everyone has like a master's degree you hire basically, and it's like a few percent has like a bachelor degree. It's like barely, okay? So it's incredibly like academic, right, And everyone has like papers published, and everyone's like an author, and everyone's like the books published, right? And they're all these like brainiac people, right, And no one, goddamn no one is like Vegapunk. Not a single one is even close to like Vegapunk. It's like no one is like Vegapunk whatsoever. He's acting the far opposite of what these sciencey dude do, right? Because I know a lot of people, like I said, right? For example, one friend of mine, a PhD guys, that he so last year I went to NASA, right? Ken Space Center, right? And I worked on this project that this year we sent up a thing to space, okay? I can't say what, but I worked on this thing that one of a friend of mine, a professor, and his invention was sent into space, right, with NASA this year, for example, right? So when I'm looking at Vegapunk, right, I'm comparing him to, I guess, myself, but also, of course, all these professor dudes that I know, right? They're all like NASA scientist dudes, right? So this is like, I'm talking like really, brainy people up here, right, honestly. And no one is like Vegapunk. Because in reality, these guys, they are the opposite of Vegapunk. In reality, if these guys were gonna tell you that the water, right, is racing, right, they would start their 10-episode speech, right, by saying that water is rising, bro. So like that's basically how they are. They do the opposite, right? I never met like a single professor dude that don't do that shit, right? They basically always do the opposite. Yeah, they're like, this is really important. Water is rising. Here's the math for it. They're basically like that, right? They're always the opposite. Okay, seriously, they all come from that aspect, right? They're always like, okay, I have this really important thing. I built a laser beam. It does this shit. Here's the math for it. It's blah 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 blah. You know, they basically do that thing. Right? They always basically show you immediately what's happening. Yeah, they're almost all of them will immediately say this is the important thing I have to talk about. You know, and they will tell you that stuff, and then they will explain it afterwards. Like, have you seen my videos where I explain like different brain stuff or science mumbo jumbo, right? More the videos. I do that too. I start saying this is the main point. Okay. Like yesterday, I made a point about the extortion, right? Of, the extortion of that thing, right? Like of the what's called Black Home, SPI and so on, right? So I immediately start my video saying, here's the main point. This is the problem with it, right? And now I'm gonna explain to you why it's happening, right? Here's the point. Here's the the storyline. You know what I mean? Like I do that, here's why it's happening, and then I will reflect of why, right? So when I see Vegapunk doing the opposite, right, and being like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and say nothing for like 50 minutes, and then at the last minute I'll say, actually, the truth about the that is that no one is that. No science is like that. Yeah. Every science dude, they will tell you immediately, here's the D secret, right? They will be like, let me tell you, this means this thing. They will tell you immediately what it means, right? It's like the first imagine a PowerPoint. They will be like, the first PowerPoint's like, the D means this thing, yeah, okay, like whatever, let's go on with life. Like, they will do it immediately, right? It's like, no. And especially, of course, because Vegapunk in this case, he knows that he's dead, right, so to speak. It's a recording. He knows that the Gorosei can stop it, right? So why would he, spend all this time, like, pulling it out forever, right? Not saying anything. That is not how any science actually works, right? Scientists do it are much more pragmatic, Because to be a scientist person, you have to actually be pragmatic and be like, how does math work? How does physics work, right? You know what I mean? So a science person would explain all the big stuff immediately and then do whatever, reflecting later, right? Yeah, it's like, this is the truth. Okay, let's go. Yeah, here's the fact. Okay, let's go on with the life, They will tell you the big fact immediately, right? But that's why I hate Vegapunk so much. I hated him from the beginning, but this is why I hate him so much, because Vegapunk is a clear case, and this is not his only Oda, but a very common thing, right? How Oda can't write smart characters. He never could, right? Oda's a good writer to some extent, but he clearly struggles when it comes to strategy or like something like that. He struggles with that, It's a lot of dumb shit, how the Flamingo doesn't do the bird case against them and so on. If you start thinking about actual, strategy in One Piece, it starts falling down, right? Because it's like, wait, why doesn't the Flamingo use bird cage Luffy or something, right? This bird cage thing, it can't be destroyed by Fujitora and Zoro together. It can't be destroyed by all the people together. Why doesn't they use bird cage Luffy and Law for? Why is that string of the bird cage so incredibly powerful? Why doesn't they use it against them? It's like that kind of stuff, right? As soon as you're thinking about I love One Piece, or I used to at least, right? But as soon as you start thinking about the actual strategy of One Piece, how dumb people actually are, literally every character in One Piece is stupid, okay? There's not a single smart character in One Piece that is actually smart, right? Unfortunately. So it's an issue he's always had, right? But then when it comes to Vegapunk is dumb as rocks. Vegapunk is like the dumbest character in One Piece. Yet he can build anything, right? Of course, the problem is that nothing the Vegapunk does makes any sense, right? Because it's purely just medical science, right? It's just like Oda he can build a cyborg. So how? He builds it, it's just pure magic, right? It's not based on any actual scientific reasoning, right? And the problem with that is that Vegapunk then isn't a magician. He's supposed to be a science dude, right? But he doesn't think like a science dude, Like I keep saying, for me, he's incredibly unrelatable, right? Because my brain is always thinking math, physics, chemistry, right? My brain is always thinking like a science dude. I'm up here, math, This is how, my behavior is how you act, But basically, right? I'm approaching stuff, right, from a scientific approach, right? Vegapunk isn't. He's a magician, he's a wizard, right? So Oda can't write him, because Oda writes him as a magical character, right? He doesn't write him as a scientist. And it's so incredibly clear. That's why I always hated him from the beginning, because he doesn't make any sense, right? He doesn't act like an actual scientist whatsoever, right? It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And yes, you corrected everyone around Vegapunk as a character Lilith, of course, the best of them, the waifu with the big assets. But obviously, the other ones around him are also interesting characters, like York and so on, yeah, and also Shaka. Right? They're all interesting around him too, right? Yeah, Daft Punk dude, yeah, they're also better around him as well. But the thing is that just he's so frustrated to me because, and I keep saying this every week because I hate these characters, right? In so many animes, supposed to be these smart characters, because again, the authors always fail at, right? Oda isn't unique on failing on writing intelligent characters. There's so few people that I see that actually succeed at writing like a smart character. Right? It's incredibly hard to find in manga and anime, unfortunately. But Oda is really bad at it, like really bad at it. He's always been bad at it. And then having Vegapunk being like basically the main character of his arc, right? It's just so incredibly showcasing. Yeah, but maybe York is just pretending to be a villain. Who knows? I will answer a twist on that. He's actually helping Vegapunk. It's part of his plan. But it's just like Oda, you know, like I said, Oda and whatever, Kishimoto, they all struggle in writing smart characters. I mean, you can see I changed my PFP, right, my avatar, to, of course, one else main character, Togorochi. That's one of the few actual smart people in anime. He's like top dog man, smart character in anime. Very hard to find them, you know, in anime. People with IQ over 50, basically. But it's frustrating, you know, and this is also kind of why, for example, the Stone is a great anime, right? Senku is a very smart character, but it's hard to find those animes or the mangas where the main character is actually smart, right? This actually is a smart main character. It actually literally is a smart character, and it's just half-ass. But Vashu is fine, but Vashu also is a little bit obviously magical, right? It's like a goddess, basically. But I think that Vashu at least is like a crazy scientist lady, and she experiments and so on, right? So it feels more real. She feels more like an actual scientist because she's kind of like a quirky scientist waifu. It's like, oh, I have to test this thing on you, yeah, and so on, right? And you let you see her do some stuff. But again, Vegapunk just magically has everything. Magic just has everything now. It just has all of it is over. He's got everything with him. It's just crazy. God, how much I hate him. It's but I think the other issue, right, is that he used how to say it. Vegapunk is just like the combination of all of what I dislike, right, in this. Again, then, you know, badly written smart character. He's like all of them combined, you know. He has all the issues of terrible smart characters. But Vashu is like, you know, she doesn't bring up the full math, but she's like, yeah, okay, here's kind of my plan to it. So it makes it feel a little more scientific, right? But I don't think the problem is necessarily that the character isn't like showing their formula or their math or whatever. I think the problem, again, right, the main issue is that they almost never act like a person that does science, right? They don't like pragmatic over it. They don't think about math. They don't have any plans, right? Because what I keep saying is that my big issue with this smart cat is that they're really stupid, right? You know, that's why Senku is one of the few ones that actually works, because Senku is also really good at strategy and so on, right? Because I had never met basically a smart person in my life that's actually smart, that's also not good at strategy, right? Because strategy is just numbers and patterns, right? So basically everyone with like not everyone of course, but the vast majority of people with PhDs, right? They're also good with strategy. They're also good with like the stock market or whatever. Because, I mean, it's not that complicated, right? You know what I mean? If you can build a space rocket, you can also understand basically how to lie and all this stuff and so on. Yeah, like it's very, very straightforward, right? So I really, really hate these like fake smart characters in movies and manga and gaming and so on, right? Because, you know, they are all presented as complete morons in everything else except their field of expertise, right? You know, so this guy can build space rockets, but he can't boil an egg, right? Which of course is ridiculous stupid. No, this guy is probably much better than you with boiling eggs too, and lying and so on as well, right? Because he's like a genius guy. So that's why it feels so off, right? I hate the trope of like this super smart character, but he actually is really stupid in everything that is not smart, right? Which is just really weird, right? I beg my God, combined with that. No, but I think that Dr. Stone is probably the best one. Because, I mean, by far. Because, of course, Senku actually explains his science, right? Senku actually explains a lot of the science. Senku actually is like, oh, I'm going to build, I don't know, like this acid. And I have to combine these two with this thing. I have to go and mine this thing. And then I combine these two and it makes it acid. So, I think that Senku is probably by far the most like actually most accurate scientific anime by far of the stone. Yeah, 100%. The smartest character is probably Tokuruchi. Yeah, he's like super good, man. But the thing is that you can see it too, right? Because not an anime that actually has a smart character is Hiruma, of course, in Ice 21. And Ice 21 was written before the Storm, the same author, right? And he also is like a really manipulated, smart character. So you can feel like this author at least know how to write smart people. Yeah, he know how to actually write like intelligent characters that actually have that, say it layer of it. Yeah, but it's interesting. But anyway, yeah, One Piece drives me crazy with Vegapunk, right? I mean, it's just so bad, right? It's just like 10 chapters of Vegapunk, which is again the worst character that's ever written. He stands there and he talks about everything except the actual important bit, right? And the whole rest of the manga are just like reaction faces. Every chapter is just like, here's Vivi, here's this character, here's like Koala, here's like, and it's just like Aqua is clear. But then honestly, that bothers me, That bothers me because Aqua isn't that stupid, Aqua isn't that stupid in most of the story episodes, right? Aqua isn't that stupid. I don't get that meme. It's like people who Aqua is dumb, but actually Aqua, for most part, is actually a pretty smart character, yeah. Yeah, she's an entertainer, yeah. But seriously, Aqua for the most part is like the smartest person of the crew. Of course, she's like a really stupid sometimes as well, but Aqua, I don't think she's dumb. Aqua is more like eccentric, Aqua is more like, she's like, underdog! Yeah, I will never work with you, Aqua is more like, she has faith and belief and eccentric, right? But she actually doesn't do that much dumb stuff, actually. Ignoring her eccentric behavior. Yeah, but it's a little bit weird, actually, I think, in the storytelling, because she's actually pretty smart. It's just that she kind of like has her, like, oh, I will never work with this person, or I will destroy this thing, no matter what, right? It's more that she has this, like, quirky obsession, I feel. Like, she's actually, I think Aqua, honestly, is really kind of weird, because she's smarter than basically all the other characters, I think, most episodes. But then she has those obsessive things, like, oh, I will never help you with this thing, or I will not work, and so it's more like her weird behavior of like, oh, you built this thing, then I will steal this from you or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like she has this weird quirk she has that's super annoying, which makes her funny, which combat is gold, right? But I think it's more like that. She got her really, obnoxious, quirky behavior, where I think it's kind of funny, or it's super strange. But anyway, guys, let's talk to you. Now I'm gonna. Yeah, this stream here, I will remove the beginning then. Yeah, very impulsive. But she's very impulsive, but also, I mean, she's kind of like obsessed, right? With certain things. It's like, oh, you're working with these demon chicks and like these undead people? Never. She's like, I will never work with them. Yeah, it's like, I hate them all, I burn them all down and so on. She has what's it called? She has her, her Bushido, her codex. She's like, I have to fight these people no matter what. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have to destroy them. Yeah, it's like, it's more like that too, right? Impulsive, but also has her obsessions, right? It's like, this is what I have to fight. Which kind of makes sense. She's supposed to be a goddess, right? She's supposed to be a goddess. Of course, she has to follow her, fate or whatever, yeah. So, in that sense, Aqua is probably kind of, makes sense, She's a fate-based character, right? So that makes sense. She would be like, this is what I have to destroy as well. Oh. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know with One Piece at the beginning. Dumb characters. It drives me crazy though. A little bit. But this is like Hushan though. She's the nicest person in anime, yeah. But she's voiced by the nicest woman in anime. She's voiced by Naru, She's voiced by everyone's friendly girl next door, Except for she's a psychopath in King's Game. That's so funny too. Have you seen the anime? I said it lastly. Have you seen the anime Osama Game? It is so funny because this then voice actor, right? Hushan, Yubi Horia, which is like known as this like super cuddly voice actor, right? She just this like complete deranged sociopath in King's Game that kills everyone. He's like super terrible. He's the weirdest role because every time otherwise in anime, for like the last 20 plus years, she's played this like super sweet, girlfriend characters, super nice, super friendly, cuddly and peaceful characters, right? And then he has that one role which is like this deranged psychopath that is like kicks people's heads down and breaks her best friend's fingers one by finger, and like she ars people, and it's just like, my god, it's the craziest role ever. It's the worst anime I think I've ever seen in my life. It is such a bad anime. I said it for years, but I have to react to it one day, guys. King's Game, and do like a super cut of it. It is the worst anime of all time. It is genuinely like a 0 out of 10 anime where you know, it's like a horror anime where I don't know, it's like 5 character dies per episode, and it's just super stupid, and they like explode. It's incredibly bad, and it's like flashbacking into a previous King's Game inside of it or something. It's just a weird. It's this really weird thing, right? We're not talking about FT, bro, because FT is one of those older animes. FT is actually the same company with One Piece, you know. But that I don't get it either for that matter, because FT, I say it here and the screen, guys, but FT is like, you would definitely do the channel. That's like one of the worst animes to react to and review to. It is funny though, because I did get this non YouTuber, right? I got his channel basically banned because of FT. It was really funny, so but so alright. But yeah, but it's all this. FT is like a magnet for this one company, this copyright troll company. They basically get everyone's. They will come after you immediately. For that matter, oh yeah, before I forget, Space Pirate Lord. You see that mad? You said Fraud Lad. It's like now Fraud Lad. Thought it was Cacao. Fraud Lad got a strike for community strike. Yeah, and I was laughing at. Okay, so Fraud Lad got a strike. Okay, I said earlier. That's super fun here. Saturday, My Academia now becomes me roasting Fraud Lad again here, but this is really funny. So I think I even have it somewhere. I think I saved it somewhere. So Fraud Lad got a strike, and I think I saved the strike. I did post on Twitter otherwise, and I sent it to Kakao on Twitter. But I posted on Twitter on my feed to him. But it was like for an R scene that he's posting on his channel, and I'm just laughing at it. Let's see if I can find it. My PC is like lagging like crazy now. The folder that I had it. But yeah, but the thing is that I saw it even worse. Okay, so I'll be explaining. I can show. I haven't on Twitter, but okay, what's happening with my PC? It's maybe the stream has been too long now. Maybe it's hot here. But anyway, yes, I put it on Twitter. I can go on Twitter feed, and I can download it again. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Here it is. You know. Yeah, so here it is. Mad Lad. It's really big. There we go. Yeah, so he got a copyright strike for, or I mean, a community strike. This is much worse. He got a community strike, so this is much worse. But yeah, I see the Mad Lad, Fraud Lad. But go on my Twitter feed. Go on my Twitter, you can find it when I write about it. But yeah, so Fraud Lad, he got a community strike, which is, if you don't understand how the system works, right? Copyright is like, oh, the anime, whatever, right? But community is much worse. So now he can't post on YouTube and so on for like a few weeks, because community is basically like, you post like porn or something, right? You post hentai, whatever, right? You do something really stupid. Yeah, and the thing is that I then went yesterday, because I saw yesterday that he got this thing, and yeah, it is Heavenly, as I said, Heavenly Delusion, right? So Heavenly Delusion is like crazy anime, which has straight up like sex hit in it, right? And so I saw him getting that strike yesterday, right? So then I went to Fraud Lad's channel, and I was like Heavenly Delusion, right? And then I immediately found episode 6, where it's like characters that are doing it, and they're young, so to speak. And this guy, right, because he's a genius person, this person, right? He is showing that scene straight up. He's showing that scene. I have a timestamp for it. He's showing that scene. I'm gonna show you guys here on the stream, right? Because that thing is clearly illegal, right? That's clearly illegal. That scene there is clearly like not legal in some countries, like straight up, right? This anime is crazy, and it's like a young girl and so on, right? And Fraud Lad, the genius he is, right, he's literally showing that scene, right? Because he's a very, very smart person, right? So he's react to the anime, and then his review part, he's just showing the full scene. He's showing the full scene of these two characters, like, doing it, right? And you see her. So I was like, I was like, this guy is crazy, man. Like, seriously. He's so stupid. Like, seriously. I said it for years, but he's so stupid. He's so incredible. He buys, subs to them. But he's so incredibly, I'll say it, lack of integrity, right? That this is a guy that would straight up upload hentai on YouTube. Like, he's straight up, right, Like, straight up. Like, to get views, right? To get subscribers, yeah. Straight up, every other reactor, right, has the intelligence to be like, well, I can react to this scene, but I can't show it on YouTube, right? I can't show the scene because it's basically illegal to I can't show you this scene, right? Like, this is crazy. But this guy is like, no, I'm just gonna show it. He's so stupid. He literally shows the scene, and then, like I said, he shows it first as a reaction bit, right? Then it goes back to the scene and he shows it for full screen. Like I do my review part, he's showing you, he's showing you the whole scene, and I'm just like, what? So I am not surprised that video from Heaven Delusion got taken down, right? Because obviously someone reported him and reported him for, breaking the rule, which he is, right? And then I saw those other videos, and I'm like, they were all breaking the rules. Like, his whole Heavenly Delusion, basically, his list, right, are basically all videos that are breaking the rules, because the guy is showing you the actual, like, ecchi scenes, right? Far more ecchi than most enemies, right? It's just so stupid, right? And everyone else gets that. You can't show this scene, right? Everyone else gets it, right? He does it. It's hilarious, but it's just a typical Fraud Lad thing, because the guy is, he's obsessed with just anything to get one more view, so yeah, because then I saw him posting. Of course he hates that. He hates everything. He's fake, man. But anyway, I see here before I forget. I then saw him posting that he can't, of course, post anymore on YouTube, right, on his main channel, or second main channel, whatever. So he has a third channel that he's now doing videos on, because he's like, temporary banned, right, on his main channel, right? Makes sense. And then the first thing I see on the secondary channel is, Magic Girls, that anime they had last season, right? The beautiful Yuri anime, yeah. And he has like a thumbnail of two of the characters, like getting dirty, getting frisky, like straight up. Like, this is clearly also breaking the rules. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man. There's something I should hate with him so much, right? For all the years with Fraud Lad, is that he's done so many thumbnails that are clearly breaking the rules right now. It is so frustrating, because obviously he does, anime roughly the same time as me and so on, right? And he might upload, for example, a reaction to this anime or whatever, right? Like I am, right? But because he has no integrity and no honor or whatever, no morality, right? He will, if he had a series episode of Academia where Urika was literally getting awed, right, by Toga, like we actually saw her, like, getting like that, right? He would take that as the thumbnail, right, and post that, right, because the guy is really, really dumb, right, he would take that as a thumbnail, right, which of course breaks the rules, obviously, but he would do that, and then I will upload my video with a more decent thumbnail, right, because I'm not stupid, right, and then of course he's gonna probably get more views because he's willing to take this like R scene as a thumbnail, right, you know what I mean, even if he breaks the rules, right, and then maybe he sometimes changes it afterwards, but I get my point. He does that all the time, man. So that frustrates me because clearly the guy is breaking the rules to get more views right now. It's so obvious. He should be banned. He should have been banned like 10 years ago. I don't know how he's doing it, but he should have been banned week 1 basically of doing YouTube, right? He's never followed the rules, right? So and honestly, he's gotten this many times, right? The only thing the guy he's gotten many, he's gotten many times, right? Has the guy gotten strikes for this stuff, right? But you need to get 3, right, to get banned, forever, right? So he gets like 2, whatever. And then he stops doing it, right? And then he kept doing it. And it's like for I don't know, for the last 7-8 years or whatever, longer than I know him, he does this like a cycle, right? And then he loses, then he gets 1 strike, and he takes it easier, he gets 1 strike, So he just keeps doing it, right? But yeah, it shouldn't be. But that's what I mean, right? He's that kind of guy that is like, you can't do this thing, right? And it also makes it worse for everyone else too, you know. It also makes it worse for everyone else, not just for YouTube itself, but you know what I mean. Like, he's the kind of guy that just ruins the rep for anyone else talking about anime or manga, or whatever, you know, or gaming or so on. Yeah, he's the kind of guy that takes it to the most extreme, and also this is more a personal note for me, but it's so boring too. You know what I mean? Because you know, on my channel here, right, it's mostly sarcasm, right? I joke about the stuff, you know. Like, I will joke about it. Right? If I took their things, yeah. But he's kind of like the Sisyphus. He's a little bit of a Sisyphus insanity, though. He does the same thing over and over again, looping it, and he does the same result. It's true, because I read his Discord channel yesterday, and he's like, "How could YouTube take my videos down again?" Yeah, he never learns either. Yeah, he never improves either. Yeah, it is insanity. Yeah, it is the Sisyphus insanity. He does the exact same thing over and over again, and he never learns from it. It is kind of funny, I think about it. But anyway, that's a side I think is really funny. And you know, I'm pretty sure he's banned too. I'm pretty sure he's actually already banned. I can't confirm that, but I was reading his Discord channel yesterday, and it seems really weird because he's writing like, "We are gonna upload on my third channel," right? So his big channel now is his second channel, I think, and he's actually already banned. So his number 2 then is bigger than number 1 was, right? And I think this sounds accurate. So I think he first lost a channel with a few thousand subscribers, and then he made that second channel where he buy subs on, and that channel now has like 4,000 subscribers. So I think he's already at like, I think he's already banned once, actually. And now he's almost getting banned on his second channel. Yeah, and now he might be banned on his second channel if YouTube goes at him hard, which I hope they do, of course. He deserves it 100%. Yeah, he deserves it 100%. So I hope they, go for it. But yeah, I think he's already actually banned. So he's probably already ban evading. I'm guessing now, but I think so. I think I remember him saying that to me a few years ago. Yeah, I think he's ban evading. Which honestly, I understand how YouTube doesn't fix that. It should be so easy to see those ban evaders, because most of them, they do reaction lists, they show their own face. Yeah, this is, it's me again, you know, doing the same shit with another title. Yeah, it's really weird. It should be easy to pick them up. But I don't think YouTube actually cares. This is my theory. I don't think YouTube cares about people that are ban evading for copyright strikes, right? Because they make money too on those people. They don't really care. What they do care about is people ban evading for community strikes, right? For community strikes. Because that is like, you know, that's something that YouTube actually cares about. YouTube actually cares about someone breaking like that kind of system, right? He probably would, right? But I mean, so if he gets banned permanently for this heavy thing, then he might lose all his channels, maybe. Because what I've seen is in the past, right, is the people that get community strike banned, which again is harder to be, right, because you have to upload, you know, like he does, right? Yeah, then you basically like lifetime ban from Google. Then Google is like, oh, you were a P or whatever. Yeah, they're like, oh, this stuff is definitely okay. So I think that he deserves it 100%. He definitely. If there's one YouTuber I know quite personally that should be banned on like community, it's definitely him, 100%. Because he's uploaded so much animes, questionable anime thumbnails and scenes, right? From, you know, young stuff and so on, especially. My favorite part was when he, you probably have seen it, right? Shadow of Imminence. You probably have seen the Isekai, right? Shadow, maybe to consider, right? So in one scene in Shadow of Imminence, he, how to say it? That what's her name again? Epsilon, something like that. Whatever her title is, but one of the girls, right? She's using her magic, her like blob slime magic, right, to build herself a body. You know what I mean? So she looks more voluptuous, right? She's using her like slime magic to get. Basically, it's like, well, if you've seen it, basically it's like this woman. She's using her like slime magic, so she looks like she's really, you know, like thick and so on, right? But it's actually all fake, right? She's like using magic to be all this stuff, right? You know. And it's a funny scene when she loses her OPPAIs because a guy attacks with a sword, and she dodges it, and he cuts off her OPPAIs, but it's fine because it's just magic. So she's like, oh no, yeah, she's like exposed, and she's flat actually. No, not like Sue, more like a woman that is like really, really tiny, you know what I mean? And she's like covering herself in slime magic. So more like a girl that is really, really nice. More like a girl that is. Hello, man, pretty good. I'm just explaining the last bit of. I'm trying to explain Emerald of Shadow here. It's hard to explain. Basically, the girl is, you know, she's really, really tiny, right? And she's using like slime magic to like as a suit of armor, right? She's using the magic to construct like a layer of her body outwards, right? And then she has clothing over that body. So she's like a short, tiny girl, but she's like covering herself in slime. She's like Trebol in One Piece. She's Trebol in One Piece. That's how she is, yeah. She's Trebol. She's basically using like her slime magic, right? To get like an upper layer of her body. So she's actually like really short, but she's using her magic. She's tall, right? Because she can stand on the slime thing. And then she puts on her clothing and shoes or whatever, right? On the fake body, right? So she becomes really tall and bigger and so on. So it's like Trebol in One Piece. Yeah, that's what she is. She's Trebol. Yeah, that's a weird like snoot fruit, right? Yeah. So basically, well, anyway, and it's like a really fun scene. I love the scene actually, when she's fighting someone and he cuts her body. And she's like, haha, it actually is fake, you know? And it's like, I'm immune to it, right? Yeah, Trebol in One Piece. He was the same magic, basically, like slime snoot magic. And he's actually really, because Trebol's power is he's really thin, right? But he looks really big and fat, but it's all fake, right? Because he's actually a really thin guy. And if you attack him, you're missing the real body because he's actually like a, you know, really, he's like a fake fatso, right? You know. But anyway, end of the story now. Then end of the stream here, guys. I have to go to the YouTube now. End of the stream here is that Fraudlad, our beloved Fraudlad, he's in his genius mind, right? You know, he takes the scene right from the anime when she's constructing the suit, right? So it's one of the episode. They're showing how this girl is building up this fake slime suit, right? So she's standing there completely, you know, whoa, bat suit, you know. She's going to the bat, you know, birthday suit, right? She's standing there fully, you know, like that, right? And the thing is that this girl is obviously very, you know, her real size is probably not. but basically, you know, yeah, so this we see her real size in this episode, right? And this genius guy, he takes that as a thumbnail, like straight up. Her standing there completely, you know, birthday suit, right? And she's, you know, she's short, you know. And then she puts that as a thumbnail, and then I was like, what? When I saw that, I haven't probably said it. I was like, reporter. And I was like, no, but I'm like, what is this thing, man? How can YouTube allow this thing? I was like, what? I'm like, it has to be because it's like anime or something. So it has to be because the YouTube system can pick it up because it's like drawing or something. I was like, that is clearly not okay. Yeah, thanks, bro. Now I'm just like ranting a bit about my beloved YouTuber here. Are you coming in here now? Here in the end, of course, of my game, right? So it's been a long stream now, guys. But yeah, next stream is basically, exactly. That's what it does. Yeah, he basically, exactly. It's an L character. Literally, and it puts it on a thumbnail on YouTube when she's like using her magic to like create her magic suit, right? But it takes it before she put on the suit. That is exactly what it's doing. It's crazy, and this guy should be banned on YouTube, 100%. I've been saying it for years. He's almost getting banned now, then, right? Because now he's, you know, but this I don't know. He's so lucky. Like he gets like 1 or 2 strikes, then he gets 1 strike 3 months later, and it's fine, you know. He looping those strikes, you know. It is funny, and like I said earlier, and you said too, I think it's so funny too because he never learns. Like I said, yeah, he's always like, why are you hating on me for? It's really funny too because that's probably why I hate him, honestly. And I say that very, very openly here. My biggest problem with him probably is the complete dissonance from reality, right? Because I know a lot of people that are completely scrupulous, okay? I know people that, you know, build weapons for a living, you know, and they're selling, you know, whatever. I mean, I know people that are selling like rockets, right, so on, right? And I mean legally, of course. They're working for the government, for like the arm they're making, you know, like defense stuff, or they're making helicopters or whatever, right? Apache helicopters, and so on, right? I know people, they will take any job for money, right? You know, and they will make a lot of money, of course, selling, you know, rockets or whatever, right, to companies or right? Of course, it's legal, right? But it's, you know, some people are ethically questionable. You know what I mean? You know, for some people, right? You know, but what I have no problem. Okay, my point is that I have no problem with a person that is working for, let's say, Boeing, right? And they're making, like, you know, air bomb planes, F-16 or whatever. They're making something like that, you know, F-35s or whatever, but Lockheed Martin, yeah, and so on. I have no problem, right, with most people that I know that work in the defense industry, right? Because almost everyone that I know in the defense industry, they're very open about it. They're like, yeah, I'm building weapons for freedom of America, whatever, right? And it's fine, you know. But if you ask them, oh, is your item used to, you know, blah, 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 bomb? Like, yeah, maybe, right? Yeah. They are open about it, right? You know. So I don't have a problem with someone being like, yeah, I'm an arms dealer, and it's cool, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine, right? What I really struggle with Fraudlad is that he's a guy that is basically like an arms dealer of YouTube, right? But he pretends that he isn't, right? That's what I really bugs me, because this guy, like we said, he takes L thumbnails, right? He takes a really big L's as thumbnails, and then when you say to him, but that's clearly against the rules, he's like, what rules? I'm not doing that. What? Yeah, you know. He pretends like he's not doing that, right? That's why he's so frustrated, because he used to talk to me all the time, you know. He used to write on every comment, right? Like 2 years ago. He used to write to me all the time. And every time I talk to him, I'm like, but bro, you're breaking the law. You're doing this thing. It's bad. Or at least you're unethically acting, right? Maybe what you do is legal, but it's very unethical, you know? It's very, very unethical, right? That's what I would tell him. He's like, what is ethics? You know? Like, no, it's not. You know, that's what I really hate so much, because I think people, right, that do very, very unethical, questionable actions, right? If they're pretending that they aren't, right, then you're like, who are you fooling? Like, no one is falling for your bullshit lies, right? You know, you clearly know that what you're doing is wrong, right? Yet you do it, right? It's much easier to respect someone that does something wrong and they're proud of it. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people, right, that works in the American industry of weaponry, so to speak, and they're all proud of it. They're like, yeah, America! I'm like, America! So last year I was in Orlando, you know, and I met a lot of armed weapon industry people, the defense industry, and they're like, America! Like, you know, and I'm like, America! You know, like that, right, you know. And that's awesome. I love that, yeah. I love that. I love that, man. For me, I love that. You know, I love Orlando. Orlando is the freaking best place ever, man. It's like amusement parks and arms industry. It's awesome. Orlando is the city of the world, man. I love Orlando. Orlando is like America's best place, man. It's like Disneyland, Universal, and then it's like NASA and you know, defense industry. It's like nothing else between. It's a big university. Technically, I guess NASA is in Titusville. Yeah, it's not in Orlando, it's in the city next to it. But but anyway, your point. Orlando's I love Orlando, man. I love US, right? But that's what I mean, right? People that work in, not everyone, I'm generalizing here, but in my experience, right? People that work in the US defense industry, right? They're very proud of it, you know. They're very proud of it. They're very like, America, freedom, you know, so on. They're very proud of it, right? But, you know, this is the guy that would basically, you know, build like landmines and be like, there's no problem with that. It's like, this is a guy that would be that, and then hide underneath the table, you know. He's that kind of guy. It's like, what is so much landmines? I didn't build that. Yeah, he's that kind of guy. You're like, oh, it's so frustrating. No, but Orlando is great. Orlando is great, and I'm gonna make a new channel. And I got inspired when I went to Orlando because, like I said, right, with work, I went to Kennedy Space Center, right, with my colleagues and one. And so I took the tour as well, right, you know. I've been there more than once now, though, but I took the tour, and I was like, man, this is great, you know. I love it because I sit here all the time, like, ranting. I hate people. But I want to make a new channel, which is more like, this is what I love with humanity, right? It's like, this is awesome. Because if you go to Kennedy Space Center, I just love the whole story. When you see, like, Kennedy, and, like, we need to hire, like, 500 million people to build this rocket, and it costs so much money and so on. I'm like, man, I just love the science of, like, we have to get people here. oh, the rocket is too heavy, so we have to build some new pavement. We have to build a truck they can put on the pavement before the rocket and so on. That stuff to me is like, yeah, this is awesome, right? People so much forget that. This is also probably why I, from a political standpoint, right, so to speak, or more like a philosophy standpoint, why I don't like the far left, right? Because the far left is always like, how can we break stuff down, right? The far left is like, how do we destroy buildings, right? Because it's harder to construct buildings, right? And why of course I hate when like pulling down statues or on, or we see now then when they're running around the university and they are protesting and so on. It's so silly because it's so easy, right, to go to an university and destroy the windows, right? That takes no effort, right? It's so much harder to build the building and actually build the windows and build the stuff. Yeah, that takes actual intelligence, right, to be able to construct something, right? It's easy to just destroy stuff, right? So it's really sad. Right? It's really, really sad, But anyway, I mean, I think you get my point. But I think about it. That's why I really, really always struggled with Fraud Lad and his friends, right? And they used to invite me to the podcast and so on back in the days, right? And I was like, no, I don't want to talk to you guys because you're frauds, right? You have no integrity. You have no honor, right? Because like I said, when I go to Orlando or other places in America, but when I go to when I go to people in USA, right? They're like USA, yeah, we love USA, freedom, right? They act like that, right? When you talk about, I don't know, rockets or F-35s or whatever, yeah, they're like, yeah, America, that's how they act, right? Which I love, I love America, and I love that behavior. Right? When you're proud of your country and you're proud of your weapons or whatever, right? Or whatever you're building, right? That's great. But this guy is basically just like, he builds something which is very unethical, right? And then he pretends that, but I didn't build that, or why does someone hate it for? What's the problem with that? Yeah. And he like does all this like scheming snake behavior, right? It's just appalling, right? It's appalling. And unfortunately, he's of course not the only one. I think social media is really terrible in that sense because social media, of course, pushes, right? Social media pushes for people to be like him, right? To lie and to cheat and to make fake thumbnails and so on, right? Social media, unfortunately, awards people with no integrity, right? And obviously, I'm not the first one to say this thing, right? Obviously, everyone knows it, but social media is, unfortunately, is like pushing people to act, in this way, right? But end of the day, I have no problem with people. For example, I have some problem with this guy, but not too much problem with people like, for example, Logan Paul or Jake Paul and so on, right? Kisai and so on, these people, right? I mean, I don't like their videos. I don't like that they're selling, Prime for like, $50 per bottle or whatever, right? I don't like his action in Japan, of course. So I'm not like a Logan Paul fan, right? To some extent. I mean, obviously not like I dislike the guy, right? But at the same time, I actually, and this is something I actually realized like last year, I actually, Mad Lad of Culture, or as you call it, Fraud Lad, right? Fraud Lad actually made me like Logan Paul in a way. Because Logan Paul, he's like no integrity and so on, right? But he's kind of proud of it, He's like I'm a terrible person and I'm proud of it. That's Logan Paul in my worldview. He's like a guy that does terrible stuff, but he stands by doing it, right? Which is he's okay, but at least he's proud of it. He's like yeah, I'm a bad person, and that's badass. That's kind of his percent, right? And I'm like, you know what? I respect that. I respect he's a terrible person and his stand by that aspect, right? Because I have this other person over here, which is also a terrible person, but he pretends to be decent, right? And he keeps trying to lie about it all the time. I'd much rather have a guy that is kind of like, he's like a proud douchebag. Okay, that's kind of pretty nice, like, it's kind of like that. But I'm just like, you know what? This guy. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But this is actually pretty interesting. Yeah, to some extent. Yeah, he's in wrestling. To some extent. Everyone knows what heel is, yeah. But it's kind of like, if you think about it from an acting standpoint, yeah, it's like, it is much easier to like someone that is playing the bad guy, and they know they're playing the bad guy, and they're proudly playing the bad guy, right? Rather someone that is the bad guy, and they pretend that they aren't, yeah. Like, and everyone's like, we know you're the bad guy, yeah. It's like everyone's like, we know you're lying and you're cheating. Like, no, I'm not. Like, we saw you red-handed. Like, no, that's, yeah, it is much more frustrating, right? When someone is not being honest about such incredibly obvious stuff, right? But I think it's really interesting. I find it very interesting from a genuine, like, human behavioral standpoint. Absolutely. But that's probably why it bothers me so much, right? Because he's the guy that would, like I said, he's the guy that would build anything for money or whatever, right? And then he pretends that he didn't. Yeah, it's like, oh, I didn't do this thing. I don't care about money. Like, you don't care about money. But yeah, but something like that. But it's interesting, and it's. I think people are. If you go very political, I mean, that's one reason why people like Trump, because Trump is like, oh, I'm a douchebag, but I'm a proud douchebag. Yeah, because Trump is kind of like the two. Trump is like, oh yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I cheat, but I cheat for you guys. That's kind of his. A lot of people like him, right? Because he's kind of open, like, oh, I know it's corrupt, and I'm corrupt too. So it's like, whatever, right? Yeah, it's like, it gives you some kind of charisma at least when you're like, oh yeah, it's like, of course I'm doing this thing. Everyone is, something like that. Because I'm just laughing, right, when I go into and see what Fraudland is saying. And it's just like, why is YouTube coming after me again? I done nothing wrong. You're like, we're clearly breaking the rules there. Like, no, I'm not. Like, it's just so ridiculous, right? You're like, everyone knows you're doing it. And I mean, most YouTubers, end of the day, right? When you make a thumbnail, you first think about what can I take a thumbnail that is, edgy, but not going over the edge, right? That's always thing, right? You're always trying to take a thumbnail. It's like, okay, it's borderline, but it's not pushing it too far, right? That's a skill, right? And this guy is like always pushing it over the border. He's always breaking that edge, right? He's always going too far, and then sometimes, of course, he gets punished for it, right? And then he pretends that he didn't know that was the rules, It's like a guy committing crime, and it's like, I didn't know that it's illegal. That's what it is. He's like one of those petty thieves that is like, no one told me this is bad. Like, I didn't know. Yeah, he's that kind of guy that is like, he does something bad, and then he pretends that he didn't know that it was bad. Yeah, that's what it is mostly. Yeah, it's like, well, that's true. Yeah, the economy worked better slightly, but I think. What? The actual kiss? Her throwing the heart course is perfectly fine. But I mean that's a good example. That's a good example actually. I haven't seen his video about slime, but I would imagine him taking like the onsen scene as a thumbnail, I would imagine him taking like Hinata in onsen straight up as a thumbnail. Let me check it out. I have to go to the gym, guys. Jesus Christ. Okay, I go to the gym and hits the one there, definitely last. I have to check it out. Okay, it's funny. Where's his channel? I have to go to his channel. Man, I'm on like a hate spree now, man. But I have to go to his channel, and I have to see his slime thumbnail. It wouldn't surprise me, right, if he takes slime and he takes the image of Hinata in the bath or something as a thumbnail. That would not surprise me. That's the person he is, right? It's done slime. He's put the Diablo thing. That's okay. So he's banned this week. Okay, so he couldn't upload. Episode 11, right? Yes, he couldn't upload this week. Yeah, let's see. I'm see his video here. He couldn't upload this week because he's like temporary banned, right? He's like, for a few weeks he's banned. So let's see. Man, why I spent so much time on this guy? But it's just kind of funny. When I saw that he got temporarily suspended, I was like, well, that's at least some justice in the world. I'm like, well, at least there is some justice in the planet. But his thumbnail is Diablo. I'm actually disappointed now. I thought he was gonna have like Hinata in the bat or something. I thought he would be like straight up like. But maybe I'm on the wrong episode. Is it? Sorry. Maybe I'm on the wrong. No, but 2 weeks ago. Maybe he didn't upload it. I can't find it. I thought about this 10. I feel like it's lacking an episode. I mean, wasn't it 11 yesterday? What episode was it yesterday? Of slime. Let's see, 11. Why can't I can't find this episode. Maybe it's taken down. What can't I find it for? Well, let's do another channel then. I can't find his video. That time, okay. That time is just an English title. Okay, that time. No, it's 10, right? 10, 11 is today. But I'm trying to find his, like, he only does short on it for some reason. Like, I can't find his video. Like, maybe it's removed or it's only on the channel. Because I can't, like, find his video about it. This is on Discovery now here. So, I'm going to his second channel. Because I know he did it on his second channel. Now this is hard now, guys. Oh my god, this is the detective mode here. Because I know he uploaded on his second channel the yesterday episode. But I'm trying to find, you know... no, I need to find it. I just want to see this thing. Why isn't his... What is second channel? Jesus Christ. What is anime discussion? I need to find it. No, I'm frustrated. Why is the guy so bad at, like, sharing his own stuff for? Because he wasn't listed on all the video. No, he hasn't done it. He did it, like, it must be removed or something. Like, seriously, I cannot find his video on the last episode last week. On this week I can find it, but not this week. Yeah, and you go to his second channel, you see that Yuri stuff. You see that Maddie girl's doing it. Obviously not okay on YouTube. Very strange. Why I can't find the second video. But maybe it is removed. Like, seriously, maybe it got removed. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, I'm not even, like, I wouldn't be surprised, right? I genuinely would not be surprised if his last video got removed on YouTube because he probably put, saying what I'm saying, right, the character in the onsen. Because I can't even find the video. That's what I'm saying. I feel this is like, I don't want to say, sorry, but I don't want to say that this is evidence for my point here, but his video is, like, removed, where he has privated by himself. It is the video's gone, okay? The video for 10 is gone, right? Because this week is 11 of Slime. 2 weeks ago was 9, of course. His 10 is missing on YouTube. I'm just saying it's missing, right? So he either removed it himself, or privated it something, or you took it down. But it's something weird, yeah, it's something weird. Obviously that guy does like 5 videos per day. It is something weird. I can't say that for certain that the video was, you know, pushing it or whatever. But it is weird. It is weird that the video that I was gonna show here is gone. Yeah, it is very strange. Why is that video gone for, right? That is super suspicious. Let's be honest here. That is, you can't tell me there's a point to what I'm saying, right? It is very, very strange that video is missing. It's very suspicious. Like, it's super suspicious. Because, yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys that thing, right? And it's gone. It is gone. Like, it is... that is super suspicious. But whatever, then. It also definitely could be himself. He also could be him, right? Knowing that he's in trouble again. And he's, like, removing the videos by himself, right? Yeah. It also could be him, like, going back and removing videos that he has done that he knows is, like, not okay, right? So, you know... yeah, Slime is meetings, man. Meetings! But anyway, say it, yeah. Make it more suspicious. No, but come on, he probably... What happened, okay, I was not speculating now. What happened is probably that he got that strike, right, on Heavenly. And he's probably like, oh shit, my channel is getting banned again. So he's like, okay, he's starting to go back and probably removing recent videos or breaking the rules, right, you know. So but the episode is gone, right, you know. It's gone on his channel. So he probably took it down himself, right? Or at least he privated it. Because he was like, oh shit, you know, it's in trouble, right? So that's probably what happened. He's probably panicking in yesterday and started to, like, remove his own videos. That's what most people do, you know. If they, Like for example, we saw with Boku and so on, right? He gets a strike on, what was it, jellyfish girls, right? So then they go and remove all their own jellyfish videos, right? Proactively, someone. He's probably doing that. He's probably like proactively removing his videos, because I was like, he probably broke the rules there, right? I am surprised that his heavenly delusion stuff is still up on YouTube. That he hasn't removed himself. Shows you the intelligence, man. If I was him, I would immediately, of course, take down all my heavenly videos. No, but it's really weird. But his thumbnail, I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna show you the thumbnails of his videos on Heavenly Delusion, because immediately the first thumbnail is the character, in her birthday suit. Yeah, his first video is showing the character without any clothes on. His first thumbnail, like straight up, like it's so stupid, like it's crazy, like it's the guy has no tact, man. I don't know, but he's a great showcase of a person with zero integrity. Jesus Christ, look at the 6th thumbnail. I can't even show you this thing on YouTube, okay? Like, I'm not gonna show you. I know the video is being stupid now, but I can't even show you this thing, okay? So go to his channel, go to NAVAL Culture, and then you search on his channel. You search for Heavenly Delusion, guys. Search for Heavenly Delusion, and you will go and find, look at number 6 there, and you will see 2 ladies with no, on the thumbnail there is clearly not okay. And then into that video, you're gonna see him showing an actual X scene in that episode, okay? I give you the timestamp, okay? This clearly should be removed on YouTube. 100%, okay? So the timestamp is 24:21, okay? Go and look at this. Jesus Christ, man. This is straight up like seriously. Go to his channel, search Heavenly Delusion, episode 6, and go to 24:21. There is no way that is okay on YouTube. That is 100% breaking YouTube rules. 100%. It's so much breaking the rules that I basically want to just post to YouTube and say, please take it down. But this is seriously, come on, man. This is crazy. Have you done it? I hope you do it here. I'm gonna end the stream at the what's it called, like when the timer is at the zenith, apex of timer. This is so crazy. I can't believe this. Honestly surprised me from a data standpoint, but I do feel that the algorithm, I mean the actual bots, right, should see that scene is not okay, right? You know what I mean, right? You see the scene 24:21. It's literally like the guy is. The guy is like mounting her. Yeah, like this is like I've seen the anime, so I know what's happening. I know what's happening in the anime, right? I know what's happening. It's just like, how can you show the scene full frame, right? Like, I can't even show you the scene. Like, I'm not stupid. So I mean, I would love right here on YouTube to show you what I'm talking about for the guys that has to go onto his channel, right? But I can't show you because I know for a fact that this thing is not okay on YouTube, right? So I can't show you that scene. Then this stream might take it down. I might lose my channel if I show you his video in my video, right? This is so bad that I'm 100% sure that what I'm looking at right now here, 24:21, episode 6, Heavenly Delusion. It's 100% against the rules of YouTube. He definitely should take it down on YouTube. This guy absolutely should lose his channel on YouTube. So I say it here again. Fair listening here, okay? Go to NAVAL Culture, Heavenly Delusion, episode 6, and go to the timestamp 24:21, okay? How can this guy get away showing that scene? And also, the character, the person that's getting, she's quite young, if you know what I mean, alright? How can this be okay on YouTube? Clearly the guy's breaking the rules, 100%. And it's one thing to react, right, to this anime. It's one thing to react to this anime and talk about it, like I'm doing now, saying that, but that scene is kind of like crazy, right? Oh my god, yeah. But showing it, he's just showing it. He's just showing the scene, right? That is straight up like hentai, man. This guy is like doing like L hentai straight up on YouTube. Yeah, it's crazy. Like he's not even like hiding it. He's just like blatantly in the middle of the screen, it's like bam, Like it's you can talk about it, right? You can make upload a video You can even review hand stuff if you want to. You can talk about it, you know. But you can't show it. You can't just like show it. At least blur it. You know what I mean? It's not even blurring it. If you're gonna show like a hand scene, right? At least you have to blur it, right? At best, we should probably shouldn't show it. Yeah, you remove something. This guy's like straight up like this. Yeah, like it's like he's so lazy to. Yeah, like it's just crazy. Like this is insane. But honestly, from a data standpoint, I don't even understand why YouTube's algorithm doesn't pick up on that, right? That to me should be obvious for them. So I'm guessing it's because it's drawings, right? You know, if it was actual human, you know, if it was live action, the system probably would have banned him immediately for uploading that, probably. So I'm guessing you just can't pick up, you know, that is drawn or something. But I would guess, and I mean this genuinely, that eventually this kind of stuff probably would ban him automatically eventually, because certainly the YouTube bots, right, are getting better and better, right? So that kind of video is probably like gonna be banned eventually because, you know, the algorithm is gonna get better, right? So it's like that, right? It's moving towards. I think that the technology eventually will pick up on this stuff, especially with the AI, you know, better AI generative search and so on, because recursive search and it's called RAG and so on. RAG is like retrievable, augmented, and so on. That should make this faster, because I have a very hard time seeing why the algorithm can't actually pick that up, because this scene is so blatant. This scene is like a guy pulling down, you know, like it's so blatant. Like that scene is like straight up is a hand scene, 100%. Yeah, like it's incredible that the guy has this on YouTube. Honestly, it's incredible. I feel honestly, when I saw it yesterday when he got the first strike, and I was like, oh, wonder why he got strike for. Oh, I see it now. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, like, oh yeah, wonder why he got a strike for. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm incredible that YouTube hasn't banned him yet. That's the only thing in my mind is questioning. Yeah, I'm gonna review this thing calling the banning of fraudulent. But seriously, I can't understand why YouTube has not banned this person yet, right? Because this thing here is clearly, like, you know, I'm from Sweden, right? That thing there is basically not even legal in Sweden. Yeah, like it's Sweden is a hard law thing. Like that thing is questionably probably even like that. But anyway, not talking to you guys. It's a much longer stream. Sorry for the beginning there with the sound, right? It's so frustrating because, I mean, yesterday, before I went to sleep, right, I saw, of course, you know, Punch Forever, right? It set same settings, set the microphone, it worked perfectly fine. So I have no idea why the first minute they had no sound on the Macadamia. Super strange, yeah, like it's super weird. I haven't touched the computer, right? I just, you know, because I leave it on. I'm lazy. I leave it on, yeah. Like if I know I'm gonna stream, like, you know, in a few hours later, right? Then I just leave it on, right? I just left the PC on. Everything here, the screens, everything, the microphone, everything. They touched it, right? I came back here just before Macadamia goes out, and suddenly the sound isn't working anymore. It was super strange because I haven't touched anything. So very, very strange. Yeah, very strange. Because at least normally it's like, you know, oh, it's update or something. Right? I have to update it, or I have to change settings or something, or the PC doesn't work or whatever. But no, it's just I haven't even touched it. So very, very strange. Because as a side note, right, it usually costs more power to turn on and turn off the PC, right? Leaving your PC on isn't actually that bad, because the actual power supply to turn it off and turn it on, that's like a few hours of PC burning, right? So if I know I'm gonna use my PC in, let's say, like 10 hours from now, there's no point of actually turning it off, because it's like it takes more power to turn it on again. There's some math for that. Of course, every PC is, you know, how different, right? But you can do some math on that, and basically for most PCs, it's like it's only worth turning them off if it's like, you know, for many hours. It has to be at least half a day or something like that for most PCs, especially in modern PCs. Like my PC here is very new. I bought it last year, right? Black Friday last year. It got, you know, the newest graphic card, blah blah. So yeah, very expensive, very expensive. Yeah. So it's super quiet. It's super, you know, energy saving. So turning it off is like 10 plus hours at least. So it's not even worth turning it off. Yeah, it's not even worth turning it off. Because actually it's worth turning it off for the economy, for the environment. So it really is. So the whole idea of leaving it on actually makes sense as long as you know you're gonna use it right in like let's say 10 hours, which of course I'm using it like in 5-6 hours, right? So like whatever. So very weird that suddenly the voice was gone because I haven't touched it since then. But anyway, nice talking to you guys, and I hope it gets banned. I have no problem saying that, but that's what I mean, right? Go back to what I said earlier. I have no problem saying I hope this guy gets banned, right? Because I'm like open with what I feel, you know what I mean? It's going back to my, America, USA, that's how I feel, It's like, no, I have no problem saying I hope this guy gets banned because I stand by saying it, right, And I find it funny because some people are gonna be like, how can you hope someone gets banned? Because I think this guy is a terrible person, right? It's kind of like, I hope this guy that is breaking the law gets banned. This guy here is breaking at least YouTube rules, right? And probably the law. He probably is breaking the law where he lives, seriously. Like, he probably is. So I'm just like, no, I hope he gets arrested, you know what I mean? It's kind of like seeing a criminal committing a crime, being like, I hope he gets arrested. And I have no problem saying that because I've said it for like years, right? I've been open about it. But I think it's funny, right? Some people are going to be like, how could you say that about not a human being? Well, he's a criminal, so I hope he wants to, it's not that strange, right? But yeah, probably next week. Next week's Midsummer, though. I don't know. I'm not gonna celebrate Midsummer, though. But it's weird to say. So next week is Midsummer week. Now, I'm not back in Sweden, but usually if I'm back, I'm gonna celebrate Midsummer. I'm probably not going back this year to my hometown or whatever, or back to Sweden. But I usually celebrate Midsummer in my head, at least. I usually go and go to some party somewhere, at least. Last year I was at a wedding in my hometown Midsummer. Last weekend, a year ago. But I don't know. I have to go to the ocean at least. As a Swede, you have to go to the ocean wherever you are and like get into the ocean at Midsummer. But after Midsummer, then I'm probably gonna do that. Yeah, the stream for all the animes. We go over all the animes. But honestly, the anime that I'm looking forward to, right, is the freaking deer anime. I see the trailer, right, of the deer anime, where she's like, I'm a deer! And she's like, yeah, okay, here's my horn! She's like, what? Like, that anime looks amazing. It's like, you want a snack? And she like, put up a banana out of her horn. I was like, the anime looks insane, it's like the opening is like the nuku, yeah, like, it looks insane, right, my best friend is a deer or something, yeah, and it's like, this robot, she's like a mecha or something, I don't know, she's like some kind of weird alien deer monster girl, right? That is like, oh, I have a banana in my horn, you're hungry. It's like, wow, how? And, she can lift up her head and pull up like food on her head or something, and it reminds me of like Bobo or something. It looks insane, it looks completely insane. That is honestly probably the anime, for the new animes, that I am excited for. That and Fat Elf course, plus size elf lady. There's this, it's like dumbbell, but she's an elf instead. And she's like really thick, right? And she goes to the gym to get like muscles and that anime is. I read the first manga. Man. I have to check out the course of Historia, but yeah, we check out all the trailers in that stream then. But seriously, have you seen plus size elf? That's my kind of anime. You know what it is. It's like a really thick elf lady. She got huge OPPAIs, big assets, right? And she goes to the gym to lose her body fat, right? But she's like really big, so her clothes get destroyed and so on. It looks ridiculous. I read the first volume. I was like, oh yeah, this is good, man. That's some good shit, man. Plus size elf, man, yeah. Really fat elf chick at the gym, getting those gains, it is hilarious. I mean, obviously, it's not some kind of groundbreaking storyline about philosophy or whatever, right? But from a pure like comedy standpoint, I think it's gonna be a great anime, right? It's gonna be. I think those kind of shows too, they work so well as anime too, right? Some shows are barely better as anime, manga to anime, right? They barely improve, right? Depending on what anime it is, right? But those shows like Dumbbell and so on, they maximize improved by anime because voice acting and sound effects and so on are so much more valuable for those kind of like slapstick comedy animes. Where it's like a girl is like, oh, I'm gonna get bigger OPPAIs by exercising. I mean, those shows are much better with sound and so on. They're elevated so much by anime. So those mangas I think are, it's kind of like Usaki-chan, Nagatoro and so on. Yeah, those animes are so much better, I think, in anime than in manga, because the jokes just work so much better, in with the voice acting and so on. I think so. Yeah, I think Fat Elf is probably the same way. Where it's like, as anime, the jokes are gonna land much better, right, as anime than in the manga form. And the manga, I think it's pretty fine too. But I think in anime, it's gonna be elevated a lot more, right? Because those like slapstick kind of comedy jokes are so much better delivered with voice acting, I think. Yeah, for example, I don't know, Attack on Titan, for example, I think barely is better than anime, right? Sure, the fights are better, but most of it, right, when Eren is talking to Mikasa or whatever as a dialogue, that to me isn't really actually improved as much in an anime, because it's like, I always hated you, yeah, it's like whatever. It's like those kind of dialogue things doesn't improve that much by an anime. The fights, of course, are improved, but like the dialogue isn't really. It's better, but not much more. Someone's calling me. So I'm getting too late here now. No, I'm getting too late there. But it's Saturday, and then my vacation starts next week, so I got too much time. But next week I'm gonna start my new channel. Like I said, inspired by going to NASA last year when I was in Orlando, and I'm going to Orlando this year as well, but soon. But yeah. My other channel is be very different. My other channel is gonna be me trying to only be positive. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna only talk about stuff that I think is cool in humanity, and it's gonna be all random shit like, oh, look at the pyramid, that's pretty cool. No, but seriously, I think it's like, this is gonna be everything from like, look at this, we built this thing, right? It's gonna be very engineering heavy. It's gonna be like, I love this building because it's hard to build something. It's gonna be super anti-left leaning because I'm gonna be like, it's hard to build stuff, okay? Stop breaking stuff down. It's gonna be like, stop destroying my buildings. It's gonna be like that, basically. It's gonna be super nerdy. Like, look at this building here. It's badass, Look at that bird over there. It's kind of like, sometimes I upload videos where I like out walking and I see like a bird. Look at this bird, it's pretty cute, It's gonna be like that. Look at this thing here. How hard it is to build that nest there. This ant nest. A little bit like that. But anyway, see you guys have a great day. I'm gonna upload the Macadamia review part and summarized later after this thing. And tomorrow we probably will see a terrible episode of Mushoku, right? Yeah, that's gonna be a hard episode. I feel very, very sure what's gonna happen, right? With poor Paul.